Hey humans, what's up? I'm Breanne Williamson. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are recapping the Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2. We are just getting to that next launch of episodes. I am super eager to watch and react to all of those. As you know, I have been reacting to every single video here on my channel, and we're almost at 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy and so exciting. So thank y'all for subscribing and turning your post notifications on. I know I keep yapping about it throughout this series, but I know these videos are easy to find on your homepage, but it really does mean a lot to creators, especially queer creators, when you subscribe and turn your post notifications on. I actually had someone comment on yesterday's video saying that they thought that they were subscribed and they went and checked and they were like, oh, I'm not subscribed. So double check your post notifications are on, and it really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. I checked in my analytics, and on my last video, 62% of the people who watched almost all the way through weren't subscribers, and I can see that a lot of those people are returning. The back end of the analytics is making me a little sad, mostly just because I want to get to that 100,000 mark with all of you, get that play button. It's been a goal of mine for a long time, so a quick click on that subscribe button would mean a lot to me. And also because I have an upcoming queer indie web series coming to this channel that will be free to watch. It was far from free to make, very expensive, but it will be free because that's important to me. Something that I always want to do is bring free content to all of you. And some of you may have seen my previous films on my channel, Aging Out, Coming Out. This will be a 6-episode web series that will be released in the fall. And if you want to go and support that, you can obviously subscribe here. And then you can also go check it out on Instagram at Basement51 Series. So thank you for supporting queer indie film. It means the world to me. Episode 7 kicks off with a table talk, bringing all of the couples back together at the infamous table with Miss Swisher. You know how I feel about that. I need to say that this reality show is an example of how we know that even the most intelligent people can get sucked into cults. Because the fact that under this pressure cooker, multiple people are saying that they fell in love with other people in 3 weeks when they arrived with their very long-term partners is wild. Like the way that these people are talking about someone that they've known for 3 weeks as if they are worlds better than their previous partner that they've known and been with for years. I'm like, yeah, you know what? If I dabbled long enough in Scientology, I think I'd be in hook, line, and sinker. The ongoing vibe I'm getting from AJ throughout this series is obviously insecurity about her and Brittany's relationship, and Brittany being this entrepreneur, potentially breadwinner, and just being, you know, a professional boss bitch. And then AJ feeling like they aren't equal in that sense. And this is kind of driving me nuts because I feel like AJ wants a housewife, but AJ isn't providing the housewife experience for Brittany. You can't want to be the breadwinner and want your person to be taking care of the home, but not breadwinning. This line is what really got me. AJ was talking about Marie as their trial wife and said Marie would wake her up with a coffee and say, Duke's already been walked. There was numerous times throughout the series so far that AJ would make comments about that sort of thing. And it just really irks me because clearly Brittany is killing it at her business, and AJ seems weirdly envious of that. To me, if I was in a partnership and my partner was killing it in business, I understand wanting work-life balance, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like jealousy. And if my partner was killing it at a business, I'd be like, hell yeah, because my life's about to get better. You know, we're leveling up here. I think it's strange that AJ wants it to be her and doesn't seem as excited for Brittany to be the one doing it. In addition to the free games I sent out, which by the way, if you want those, you can text me. It's not too late. Text me the word ultimatum and I'll send you sip along games. I'll send you the watch along bingo. I'm also going to be sending to my text list any future watch along games for any future reaction series we do here. So go get on that text list. But I have an addition, and it's drink every time Dana rolls her eyes while Magan and Haley are talking, because I don't think you'd make it to the end of the episode. I don't think you'd make it the first 5 minutes. This is what I'm talking about with the cult stuff. We hear Mel saying that she feels like Dana is the first person who's ever seen her fully, while sitting across the table from Marie, who has been with her for 10 years. Like, that's an insane thing to say. I'm still not clear on this whole Spotify playlist situation. The producers were messy for that, because make it make sense how two people can just be sitting in their apartment. And I understand this is the same apartment building, so there's potential it could have been connected, but that it just popped up and it was like sex playlists. Like, I don't know. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but that seems so odd to me. Then we see all of the Ultimatum contestants, if you will, recouple with their original partners to start their next 3-week trial marriage. And of course, this kicks off with confession after confession, because everyone's filling their original partner in with all that they did and potentially didn't do. And my question for you for this episode in the comments down below is, what do you think is acceptable to do on this show? Technically, by the show's standards, this is your ex. And they speak about it like they're their exes. So if you're single, technically you should be able to do whatever. But we know that that's basically just jargon for the show. Are they really exes? Like, come on. Their intention is to try and figure something out and get back with this person at the end of the day and potentially get married to them like 3 weeks later. So what do you think would be appropriate to do on the show with your trial wife? I guess more concisely, what would be your boundaries and why? So first up, we have Kyle tell Bridget about the kiss right away in the car, which I appreciated. More on this later, but I think it's nutty that so many of them do not say stuff right away. I understand wanting to maybe get to your apartment, but we'll get into some of the odd confession timelines. In my opinion, AJ and Brittany look the cutest back together. We see them discuss the oxtail in the car. I mean, they really didn't have much to talk about. Brittany basically had a sleepover kiki for 3 weeks with Marita, and AJ was clearly just not that into Marie and, you know, was still thinking about Brittany the whole time. So they really didn't have much to unpack, in my opinion. Then we see Marie and Mel on the couch back at their apartment discussing what went down. Mel says we, in her words, teetered the line. To me, I don't know if I would call what Mel and Dana did teetering the line, but that's just me. Next, she reveals that they got matching tattoos. Marie's like, are you kidding me? Mel is doing her weirdo giggle smile through this whole thing. Like, the fact that she is disclosing stuff that is clearly going to hurt Marie, and she's sitting there like, it's driving me insane. She was like giggling too, which is absolutely nuts. Then I thought the next part was kind of sad to witness, because we've all seen a friend in our life do this before, where Marie flips the script and starts blaming Dana for what went down with her and Mel. I think Marie loves Mel. This is a person she's been with for 10 years, and it is harder for her to admit to herself that Mel is not a good person for her and has treated her poorly than it is to try and cover up those feelings with blaming it on the other woman. We see her just kind of start excusing all of Mel's behavior and just quickly buckling down on being like, well, you're not going to talk to Dana anymore, and I don't like Dana, and I don't trust her, and all of these things, and that Dana is going to be a problem for them. And that was a hard watch for me, because like I said, everyone's seen a friend do this in some capacity before, and it's hard to watch. There was hookups. Mel was clearly lying about how far they went. There was the sex playlists. There are matching tattoos. Mel is straight up saying there was a connection, all of these things. And then Mel's sitting there like smirking and giggling about it. And Marie is still finding ways to quickly forgive, dismiss it with Mel, and then blame it on Dana. Yikes. It's a hard watch. In contrast, in my opinion, we see Magan having a more real response with Dana when finding out about the tattoos. You know, she's in tears. She's very emotional about it. She's saying to Dana, how could you do this to me? You know, this is something we have talked about before. You knew I wanted to get matching tattoos if we left this experience together. And none of her communication to Dana is about Mel in that moment. She's letting Dana know that Dana, as her long-term partner, let her down and crossed boundaries and that she's upset. Both responses were real, but for different reasons. It's very real and relatable to see someone respond in the way that Marie did, but I think that the truth of the situation is more the conversation that we saw Magan having with Dana. The hardest watch for me this episode was watching Haley talk to Pilar out on the balcony. It had clearly been at least a day since they were back at the apartment, so the fact that this conversation even took that long to start off was odd to me. And then the pace of the conversation and how long it took for Haley to spit it out was so painful. The fact that she sat there and made Pilar ask 21 questions to slowly unveil what actually happened was, in my opinion, very disrespectful and very, very strange. She was like painfully just rip torturing Pilar. I was seriously screaming at my TV to rip the fucking Band-Aid off. I could not believe what I was watching. It was such a hard watch. Like, first Pilar asks her if they cuddled. And then Haley's like, we did cuddle. Then Pilar goes, night one. Then Haley goes, yes. And then it's like slow. It's like, why are you even talking about cuddling when you know what else you did? Like, it's like the slow, just, she's making her ask the questions before getting to the point, and it was really weird. She also said something that I thought was really, really fucked up. She said, we decided that if you and Dana felt the way we felt, you would have regretted if you didn't explore it. I'm sorry, so you're saying that because you and Magan had a private conversation where you decided that if Pilar and Dana had a connection, you would want them to explore it, that you should too. It was just putting the blame on them and like excusing the guilt by saying, well, we talked about it and we decided that if you had done something, I would be okay with it. It just felt really manipulative. She then goes on to say, I felt like you could be falling in love with Kyle. So again, putting it on Pilar. Like, I assumed you could be falling in love with Kyle. And then finally, she says, we did decide to cross that line. Makes Pilar continue to ask questions. Pilar says, was it just that one time? She said, well, I wasn't counting every time. I almost spat my drink out. That means that they were like rabbits. Like, you've known this person for 3 weeks and you can't, off the top of your head, think of a ballpark number. That means it was all the time. Pilar then again has to ask another question. Do you have an emotional connection with her? It was just like, oh my, it was a painful drip torture watch. AJ continues to buckle down about the housewife stuff. She's talking to Brittany. She says she was always cooking, cleaning. The house was always tidy. Like, she wants a damn housewife. Here's my thing. Make some damn money and then tell Brittany, your entrepreneur partner, to keep the house tidy. Like, Brittany's busy. Brittany, I understand wanting to split tasks in the home. I get that. But the way that AJ's speaking about it doesn't feel like that. It feels like AJ just doesn't want Brittany to be this successful woman. Like, cleaning the house, she's busy owning the house that you live in. She's busy paying for the house that she owns, that you both cook in. And also, we know she cooks for you. We've heard about the oxtail. So I'm just confused by this whole thought process with AJ. We continue to see just Marie letting everything go that Mel has told her and kind of half-truth told her. You know, she's excusing the tattoos, she's excusing the hookups, the connection. She even then goes on to say, well, I don't even know if I really want kids. Like, if you don't want kids, we don't have to have kids. She just seems like she's letting all of her boundaries that she came into the ultimatum experience go just to try and get Mel back, just to try and secure her. Because I think she's aware that Mel is 1 foot out the door with Dana. And I think if Dana wants to be with Mel, Mel will leave with Dana. And I think Marie is sensing that and panicking, so she's just saying everything Mel wants to hear. That's my opinion. We continue to see Marita say that Ashley doesn't show up for her, which I was kind of like, just buy the damn girl flowers. It's really not that hard. But I also think with the awareness of Ashley coming into this experience saying that Marita has a wandering eye, and we talked about this on my episode 1 recap, Marita kind of just not denying that and being like, yeah, I do. I like to see what's out there. With that, I think that obviously there's some built-in relationship stuff that might make Ashley not want to be super romantic to Marita. So I think it's a little odd for Marita to be expecting that, considering she's the one with the wandering eye when they came in. And we don't really know what that entails, but we can guess. I have a feeling there may have been some cheating. All around, I'm happy to see that Ashley is sticking up for herself a little more, but I also do think it's a hard watch for Marita just being like, can we just do anything romantic whatsoever? And Ashley just giving zero. I think it's clear that Ashley doesn't want to be with Marita anymore, in my opinion, and she is just letting the 3 weeks run its course. Next, we get to a conversation between Dana and Magan, and I just need to say that I think I was right all along. And for those of you who have been watching this series, you know that I kicked it off with my predictions where I said that I thought that Magan was going to be the biggest snake on the show, for lack of better terms, that I just did not trust Magan. There was something off. And then I corrected myself as the series went on. I was like, you know what? I think in one of these episodes I said, I need to apologize to Magan because I was so wrong. Magan is my favorite. I can't believe I ever doubted Magan. I think I should have trusted my gut. I think my gut was right all along. We see Magan, after absolutely berating Dana for days on end about Dana's choices with Mel. Whether you agree with those choices or not, we see a one-sided conversation over days of Magan basically making Dana feel like the worst person ever. Talking about the tattoos, the hookups, the connections, the how could you do this to me? How could I think I'd ever want to marry you? The whole thing. Dana's sitting there the whole time thinking that Magan has been a perfect angel and she has gone and done all of these things and is clearly feeling very guilty about it and is just getting the brunt of it for days on end from Magan. Magan in no way was letting on that on her end of things, she was also up to stuff. For example, we see Magan say to Dana, now I feel like we have no sacredness together. I don't know how I can move forward with this after hearing about what Dana did with Mel. What a fucking hypocrite. How dare you? The audacity to say that to Dana, knowing what we know. And then we see it revealed in this conversation. Dana says, do you want to tell me about your 3 weeks? So obviously for the days after the switch, she has just been taking the brunt of it and has actually heard nothing whatsoever about Megan's 3-week experience. So wow, is she in for a story? Magan, pulling a Mel, might I add, is weirdly smirking and like not looking upset or guilty through any of this conversation, is like kind of smiling, and it seems very odd. So maybe it's more clear why Dana was attracted to someone like Mel, because Magan in this conversation is giving Mel vibes. Magan says, Haley and I hooked up. She then goes on to reveal it wasn't just sex. I'm in love with Haley. Dana obviously starts sobbing. Magan is smiling while she cries. And then Dana said this, which I was so proud of her because I felt like this perfectly summed it up. She said, the amount of judgment you passed on me. No wonder you hate me. You've been trying to hate me so you feel better about what you did yourself. You did everything you thought I was going to do. I thought I was the bad guy. I thought that was so fucked up, truly. Maybe the most fucked up thing on this show. That Magan allowed Dana to just sit in this guilt for days and made her feel so awful. Megan's feelings are valid about what went down with Dana and Mel, but the fact that it wasn't a back and forth conversation with acknowledgement that she had also had her whole experience, that's fucked up. Like, that's torturous. To be so judgy and making your partner feel so shitty for days, and then to reveal after they bring it up, oh, how was your 3 weeks? Oh, actually, yeah, I'm in love with someone else, and I had sex with them. What? What? Such a hypocrite. Magan was really like, how could you make a playlist with someone else? Oh, by the way, I'm in love with Haley and I fucked her. Both Haley and Magan kind of smirking while watching their partners cry throughout this episode. Mel as well. It was just a hard watch, and I feel like I got duped. I got, and I'm so annoyed. I feel personally victimized by Magan, if I'm being honest, and Haley too, after that weird drip torture conversation with Pilar. Double check that you're subscribed and your post notifications are turned on. Head over to @Basement51 series on Instagram to support my upcoming queer indie web series. And I will see you all tomorrow at noon for my next recap video. See you then. Bye.